The year was 1855, a time when the world was still shrouded in mystery, and the unexplained often led to fear and superstition. February brought a deep chill to Devon, England, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones and makes the world feel like it's holding its breath. Snow fell heavily, blanketing the countryside in a pristine white silence. It was a silence that seemed almost sacred, untouched by the chaos of the world. Then, on the morning of February 8th, something incredible happened. Something that would forever be etched into the annals of Devon's history. Across a 100-mile stretch from the estuary to the coast, a bizarre phenomenon appeared. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been altered. Footprints, unlike anything seen before, marked the snow. They were not the tracks of any known animal or human. They were hoof-like, cloven and eerily similar in shape and size. Each print was identical, as if stamped by a machine. Fear gripped the small towns and villages. The people of Devon were no strangers to the harshness of winter. But this was different. This was something beyond their understanding. What could have made such marks? The question hung in the air, heavy with dread and curiosity. The answer seemed to elude all rational explanation. Theories ranged from the plausible to the fantastical, but none could fully account for the mystery. The footprints were found near houses and gardens and on rooftops. It was as if whatever made them could traverse any terrain with ease. They crossed rivers and traversed walls, seemingly unconcerned with obstacles. No barrier was too great, no surface too treacherous. The tracks meandered through fields, sometimes appearing on one side of a barrier and then mysteriously on the other. It was as if the laws of nature had been momentarily suspended. These were no ordinary prints left by a stray animal. These were different. These were bizarre. These were terrifying. They seemed to carry with them an air of malevolence. News of the event spread like wildfire, carried on whispers of fear and disbelief. The story grew with each retelling, becoming more elaborate and more terrifying. The local newspapers, initially skeptical, were soon inundated with reports and sketches from bewildered witnesses. The phenomenon could no longer be ignored. The story, fueled by the uncanny nature of the evidence, quickly gained national attention. It was a mystery that captivated the entire country. England, a nation steeped in folklore and superstition, found itself captivated by the mystery in Devon. The footprints became a part of local legend, a story told and retold through generations. The footprints, so uniform, so deliberate, and so utterly inexplicable, seemed to defy all logic. They were a puzzle that no one could solve. And in the absence of a rational explanation, a chilling question arose. What if this was not a natural occurrence? What if something more sinister was at play? Was this the devil's work? The question lingered, unanswered, as the people of Devon continued to live in the shadow of that fateful winter. The footprints, consistent in their strangeness across the vast area, possessed several uncanny characteristics. These tracks, which appeared overnight, stretched for miles, weaving through the Devon countryside like a cryptic message left by an unseen hand. The sheer number of prints, coupled with their uniformity, left the residents both baffled and unnerved. Each print measured approximately 4 inches long and 2.5 inches wide. This precise measurement was consistent across all the tracks, suggesting a single source or a group of creatures with identical foot sizes. The uniformity in size was one of the many perplexing aspects of these mysterious prints. The shape was distinctly hoof-like, with 2 distinct lobes separated by a clear cleft. This peculiar shape did not match any known animal in the region, adding to the enigma. The prints resembled those of a cloven-hoofed creature, yet their small size and the absence of any known animal tracks in the vicinity deepened the mystery. They were, however, much smaller than the hooves of any known animal in the area. This discrepancy led to numerous theories, ranging from the plausible to the fantastical. Some speculated that the tracks were made by a small, unknown species, while others believed they were the work of a supernatural entity. Adding to the puzzle, the tracks were spaced consistently, maintaining an even distance as if made by a creature taking measured strides. This regularity suggested a deliberate and purposeful movement. Unlike the erratic patterns typically left by animals, the tracks seemed to follow a specific path, crossing fields, climbing over roofs, and even passing through walls. The prints showed no claw marks, ruling out many large animals as potential culprits. This absence of claw marks was particularly puzzling, as it eliminated many common predators and left only a handful of possibilities, none of which seemed to fit the evidence at hand. Their delicate nature also suggested a creature of relatively light weight, as the impressions in the snow were shallow. Despite the lightness of the prints, the stride length indicated a creature of considerable size, creating a paradox that left investigators scratching their heads. This only deepened the mystery, as the stride length indicated a creature of considerable size, yet the depth of the prints contradicted this. The combination of a long stride and shallow prints suggested a creature that was both large and light, an unusual and seemingly impossible combination. The precision of the tracks, their uniform size and spacing, added another layer of intrigue. It was as if the creature, or creatures, had a meticulous nature, leaving behind a trail that was almost too perfect to be natural. This precision led some to speculate about the involvement of an intelligent being capable of planning and executing such a feat. They were clearly not random markings. The deliberate pattern suggested intent, a purpose behind the path taken. This intentionality was one of the most unsettling aspects of the tracks, as it implied a level of awareness and planning that was difficult to attribute to any known animal. It was as if something had deliberately chosen this path, leaving its chilling signature across the snowy canvas of the Devon countryside. The tracks seemed to tell a story, one that was both fascinating and frightening, hinting at a presence that was both elusive and enigmatic. Adding to the unease was the sheer number of footprints. The vast expanse of tracks suggested a prolonged activity, as if the creature had spent hours, if not days, traversing the countryside. This extensive coverage only added to the sense of mystery and unease. Estimates varied, but some claimed that the tracks numbered in the thousands, if not tens of thousands. This staggering number of prints indicated a significant presence, one that could not be easily dismissed or explained away. The sheer scale of the phenomenon was overwhelming, leaving many to wonder about the true nature of the creature responsible. This implied a creature, or creatures, of significant size and number moving with a singular purpose across the region. The convergence of tracks in certain areas suggested a gathering point or a common destination, adding another layer of complexity to the mystery. The scale of the phenomenon, coupled with the eerie uniformity of the prints, only served to intensify the burgeoning sense of dread in the hearts of the Devon residents. The tracks were not just a physical presence. They carried with them an aura of the unknown, a sense of something otherworldly at play. The footprints were not merely a curiosity, they were a full-blown enigma, a chilling riddle etched in the wintry landscape. The residents of Devon were left to ponder the origins of these mysterious tracks, their imaginations running wild with possibilities, each more unsettling than the last. The residents of Devon, faced with the unexplainable, turned to the comfort of familiar narratives. In the cold, quiet nights, the community found solace in sharing stories that had been passed down through generations. Whispers of ancient legends and folklore filled the air. These tales, once relegated to the realm of myth, now seemed to hold a kernel of truth for the frightened villagers. Tales of the devil, long relegated to fireside stories, gained new currency. The eerie footprints, appearing overnight, were seen as evidence of supernatural forces at play. Some recalled the legend of a spectral hound with blazing eyes that roamed the moors. This ghostly creature, they believed, could be responsible for the mysterious tracks. Others spoke of witches and their familiars capable of assuming strange forms. The idea that these magical beings could leave such prints was both terrifying and strangely comforting, as it provided an explanation. Fear, like the falling snow, had a way of obscuring the line between reality and imagination. The more the villagers talked, the more the stories grew, each retelling adding new details and heightening the sense of dread. Local newspapers, eager to capitalize on the growing sensation, published numerous eyewitness accounts. These reports, often sensationalized, only served to deepen the mystery and spread the fear. Some were clearly embellished, fueled by fear and a desire for notoriety. People wanted to be part of the story, to have their own brush with the unknown. Others, however, offered intriguing details. These accounts, though fewer, were more consistent and harder to dismiss. A farmer from Exmouth claimed to have seen a glowing figure leaping from his roof just before dawn. His story, though fantastical, was told with such conviction that it was hard to ignore. A group of children in Topsham reported seeing a large dark shape moving silently across the fields, leaving a trail of hoof-like prints in its wake. Their innocent eyes, untainted by adult skepticism, lent a certain credibility to their account. While some dismissed these accounts as mere hysteria, others found them deeply unsettling. The sheer number of sightings and the consistency of the descriptions made it difficult to simply write them off. The scientific community, initially dismissive, began to take notice. The phenomenon was too widespread and too well documented to ignore. Naturalists, zoologists, and even meteorologists offered their own theories. Each expert brought their own perspective, hoping to shed light on the mystery. Some suggested a rare bird, its feet frozen and leaving unusual impressions. This theory, while plausible, did not account for the size and depth of the prints. Others proposed a type of hopping rodent, its tracks distorted by the wind. Yet this explanation seemed insufficient given the regularity and spacing of the prints. Still others pointed to unusual weather phenomena, perhaps a freak combination of wind, snow, and ice. This idea, while intriguing, failed to explain the precise and deliberate nature of the tracks. Yet, none of these explanations fully accounted for the unique characteristics of the prints, their sheer number, or their baffling trajectories. The mystery persisted, defying easy answers. The mystery of the devil's footprints, it seemed, would not be so easily solved. As the days turned into weeks, the footprints faded, but the questions they raised lingered in the minds of the villagers, a chilling reminder of the unknown.